Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our presentation today. We'll be talking about Microsoft CSP licensing and changes to licensing. My name is Scott Duncan, and I'm the Customer Success Manager for Microsoft here at Logicalis. I'm joined by two great folks also presenting on today's call. Go ahead and introduce yourself, ladies.
My name is Bobby Brooks, and I am a dedicated Microsoft presale specialist.
I am Rebecca Darnell, and I am also a dedicated Microsoft licensing specialist, and I'm going to start this off. So we wanted to have this conversation with you so that we could show you the different Microsoft licensing changes and product updates and what Logicalis can do for you to help you manage your Microsoft business and hopefully you make sure you're attaining what you need to with this product. So we'll do a brief overview of the team, talk about what makes us different, talk about the licensing changes and Microsoft license review. We'll go into depth on our customer success focus, and then we'll talk about our CSP support and show you how to contact us should you want to reach out and let us help you with your Microsoft. So our team has been doing this for over 20 years. CSP in general is a program that Microsoft's created to take over what they're calling legacy open value legacy licensing programs. We can sell 365 licensing, Azure, on-premise products, perpetual and subscription. The only thing that is not part of CSP is software assurance. So if you're used to buying licenses with software assurance, Microsoft is moving to a subscription model. So you get the same benefits as software assurance, upgrade rights, Azure hybrid rights. The only thing you don't get is at the end of the subscription, you don't own the license. So you need to continue the subscription to continue to have rights to use the licensing. Our team will help you with learning what your licensing is, reviewing your licenses with you, and we'll go further into that later. Assist you with showing you what our pricing would look like compared to others. We can do analysis to show you what it would look like if you're doing monthly billing or annual billing, or if you want to upgrade from E3 to E5. We can show you as many options as you need to make sure you're purchasing what you need. We'll obviously help you onboard and set everything up. We have a self-service portal, which we'll go into later as well, that is fabulous for allowing you to add your own licenses as needed, look at your billing details if you need to, etc. There's so much more. We will obviously place orders for you for licenses if you need us to, but you can use the self-service portal. And then we do regular business reviews. We try to do them quarterly, but not all customers necessarily want to meet quarterly, so we leave that open and available for you to make that decision. Scott?
Yeah, the next thing we wanted to talk about, and we throw this up there on a lot of our presentations, just so everybody's aware of where our roles align on the racetrack or infinity loop, however you want to refer to it. So we like to call this out where Bobby and Rebecca fall in the process and where I fall in the process as the customer success manager. So Bobby and Rebecca will land in what I call the beginning/end part of the process. They are the team that gets together with you at the very beginning if you're net new, and comes up with a solution along with our technical team, assesses what you guys need, propose products that we have that can solve those needs, and then hands it off to customer success. And that's where I step in. Once you've purchased your licenses, I make sure that you're onboarded, that you're implemented, and that you're getting the maximum value out of your licenses, and making sure that you get the service you feel that you need. We're not just here to be a team who sells you the licenses and then circles back 9 or 10 months later when it comes time for renewal. Customer success sits in the middle, and we try to make sure that we're engaging with you between the time of signing the dotted line and the time of renewal to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. Once we get to that renewal, there's another little blurry area in the middle where I hand things off to Bobby and Rebecca. Hopefully, if we've done our jobs right, that renewal process will be easy, but we talk through our recommendations, advocate for any changes we think need to be made, and start back right at the beginning of that process. Assess and design, make sure we're still looking at things the right way, propose any new products we're thinking, and get you ready to go for your renewal.
So what makes us different? Because between the three of us, we have over 20 years of Microsoft licensing experience. Bobby and I have been doing this for a very long time. Bobby actually worked for Microsoft for a while. We both have what's called LSS-PS training. So Microsoft employs what they call LSSs, Licensing Solution Specialists. The PS part of it is partner services. So Bobby and I went through the exact same training that LSSs do at Microsoft to make sure that we have the licensing training that is required to make sure that we can help you in your journey with Microsoft and that you're getting the value out of what you're purchasing. We also both have large and small Microsoft certifications, just means that we can handle the gamut of companies, whether they're 5 seats or 5,000 seats. We helped develop the CSP programs at 3 separate resellers, including Logicalis. And the very first reseller we developed it actually sold the very first CSP contract. So we've been doing this since the very beginning of the CSP program. And we're very invested in making sure that this program works for our customers. Our customer success team, which is mainly Scott at the moment, although Bobby and I step in, he's been doing a great job just helping our customers see how they're using their licenses and making sure they're getting the value of it. We also have a Cloud Centralis self-serve portal. It allows you to order your own licensing when you need them. You don't have to wait for us to provide you a quote or order them ourselves. It allows for you to manage your users from within the portal if you don't want to use the Microsoft 365 admin portal. And you can pull billing detail reports as you're getting billed monthly or annually if you need to see the actual detail, the dates you're being billed for, and all of that. There are reports within Cloud Centralis that you can pull. So let's talk about the changes that are happening. So effective November 1st, Microsoft is actually removing what they call waterfall discounts. So over the history of Microsoft, if you've ever had an EA or a Select Plus or an MPSA, the more you purchased or the more users you had, the bigger discount you got. So as of November 1st, Microsoft is removing that from all their programs. So it doesn't matter if you're 5 seats or 50,000 seats. The first pricing you're going to get is what is going to be level A pricing. I'm sure they're going to remove the actual level piece of it. They can still provide discounts directly, but when you're talking to resellers such as us, we can't give you discounts. It's strictly a single level pricing that we would be providing. We currently only sell CSP, but with CSP, Microsoft has been trying to move EAs and MPSAs and OPSA or open value into the CSP program for over 5 years since CSP became available. Level A and B, which is 6,000 seats and less, CSP pricing has actually beat that on an EA level. So you could already save money by moving to the CSP program. A lot of customers stay with CSP or EAs just because they're used to the value and the ease of using that program. Unfortunately, Microsoft's removed a lot of the benefits that they used to give with an EA. You no longer get support. You no longer get training vouchers for training. They did release a program so you get free training. You no longer get vouchers to help you implement programs or products into your environment to help you actually figure out how to make sure that they work in your environment. So with all of these changes with CSP, support is automatically included. So your first line of call would be us. We have a managed services team that manages that piece of it. And if we can't solve it ourselves, we have a premier support agreement that would be put into play, and we would let you use our SLAs and everything to get support from Microsoft directly. Other changes, Microsoft is actually changing some products. They've added some new products and they're doing some name changes. So with the Business Premium product, it's a suite of Office and Exchange, Windows, Entra ID, Intune for companies that have less than 300 users. So they've added on a couple of suites, the Defender suite and the Purview suite, which allows them to get additional products in a bundle instead of buying them onesie twosie, which is a lot more expensive. So with these suites, you can buy them either as one suite where you get everything, or you can split it into 2 suites. There's Defender Suite for Business Premium, which gives you Entra ID P2. P1 is included in Business Premium Suite. Defender for Identity, Defender for Endpoint P2, which is your endpoint protection products, Office 365 P2, which is your Exchange or email protection, and then Cloud Apps Defender. You also have the option of Purview Suite, which gives you the E5 e-discovery and audit, insider risk management, and information protection governance. So if that's something that sounds intriguing or you would like to learn more, just let us know and we're happy to assist with those products and information on them. So the change that they're doing is a name change. So Microsoft 365 E5 Security Suite is now going to be called Microsoft 365 Defender Suite. As with the Business Premium, it's the exact same products, but these are for companies that are over 300 or have the Microsoft 365 E3 license, and they want to add this onto it. The E5 suite actually automatically includes both of these line items. Microsoft 365 E5 Compliance is being changed to Microsoft Purview Suite, and it also includes the e-discovery, insider risk management, and information protection and governance. This is just a name change. This change actually happened October 1st, but it's something that we want to make available and make sure if you have E5 Security Suite and you see the name change in the portal, it's the same product, it's just a name change. Bobby?
Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting there. When it comes to Microsoft licensing, CSP has become a great fit for almost every organization. What we offer is a full Microsoft license summary or an MLS review. And with this, we analyze your Microsoft licensing and your admin portal. And this way we have a complete picture of what your licensing is. With that information, we do a tailored licensing insights. So with this, it's recommendations based on actual usage, business needs, and compliance, not just generic advice. We offer expert support and guidance. So this is delivered by our experienced licensing and managed services teams. We have environment optimization. With that, we align your licensing with your technical environment for maximum efficiency and cost effectiveness. We want to provide a path forward. We give you actionable steps to optimize the licensing and reduce your costs. And again, this is no obligation, it's just value. We want to give you the insights that you need to make your environment what you need it to be. And we want to help you succeed with your Microsoft. Choosing Microsoft Azure through a Logicalis means more than just accessing the Microsoft world-class cloud infrastructure. It's about partnering with a globally recognized Azure expert managed services provider that delivers measurable business outcomes. Logicalis brings deep technical expertise, proven methodologies, and a customer-first approach to every Azure engagement that we do. With over 400 successful cloud migrations and 12 advanced Microsoft specializations, we help organizations securely and efficiently modernize their IT environments. So why Logicalis for Azure? Well, we provide the Microsoft Azure Expert MSP status. We are ranked in the top 1% globally with Microsoft for their global partners. We provide award-winning cloud and security solutions. We have proven cost optimization and government strategies. We use AI-powered operations with Microsoft Copilot, and we provide local delivery backed with our global scale. So part of what we need to do this is by doing your Microsoft license summary. And when we do this, again, it's a complete picture of what your licensing environment is. So we're able to provide tailored licensing insights, recommendations based on actual usage, business needs, and compliance, and not just generic advice. We provide the expert support and guidance delivered by our experienced licensing and managed services team. Again, environment optimization. We want to provide that clear path forward. And again, no obligation. We're just here to help you succeed on your Microsoft journey.
Which is always such a great transition to customer success, right? So one of the things we wanted to talk about was customer success and where we focus our time and energy. Um, the biggest thing that we can do is make sure that you guys are realizing the value of the licenses and the products you're purchasing through Logicalis and through Microsoft. So our biggest goal is to make sure that all of those licenses, all of those products are being optimized. Are your licenses being assigned? Are your products the right products for your situation and your suite? And that's what we mean when we say we tailor solutions. We want to make sure that our solutions aren't cookie cutter. It's not the same for client A and client B. We make sure that we sit down with you, with the AE on the account, with Bobby and Rebecca, and make sure that the solutions we're recommending are specific to your needs. The next thing that we focus on is license provisioning and optimization. All of us can do that. Rebecca and Bobby can do that as well. But the biggest thing we want to make sure of is that your license counts and your subscriptions are flexible. If you need to add licenses at any time throughout the year, we're happy to help do that for you. Or we can set you up with a demonstration to learn how to use the Clouds and Trials portal so you can do it yourself. Again, not discouraging you from coming to us, but happy to show you guys how to do it yourselves in case you ever want to do it on your own. We also provide that ongoing assistance, education, and training. What does that mean? If we need to set up that demo, we can set up that demo. If you have questions, comments, concerns, we have the right folks internally, the architects, the solutions folks, the licensing folks internally, that we can set up a call with it. And if we need to set you up with trainings that Microsoft already has, whether that be deployment guides, helpful hints, notes, stuff like that, we'll make sure we get it to you. Next, what I'm going to do is walk through the process a little bit, show you our timeline and how we engage with clients in the customer experience world. I split this out into a couple categories, and you'll see first month, second month, third month, etc. next to some of these. What that means is I count out from the anniversary date. So when I say onboarding in first month, I mean that first month after the anniversary date. Specifically, I'll be talking about net new clients on this slide. The first thing we do once we have a client decide to buy their Microsoft licenses through Logicalis is there's a knowledge transfer. I'll sit down with Rebecca and Bobby and look through their information, their files, so that I know the full client story. A lot of the times I'll jump on calls before we even sell the licenses, just so I don't have to do that. If we're talking about possible outcomes and solutions, I'll jump on those calls ahead of time so that I don't have to have them pass that story on to me. I know it firsthand. I'll set up a client introduction. So again, as a net new client, within the first week or two, I'll reach out to make sure that we can get on the call together. I will define what customer success does, a lot of the stuff you'll see on this call today. And we can also set up that demonstration of the Clouds and Trials portal at that time. I introduce expectations, the things that you will see from me as the customer success manager, and then facilitate any beginning trainings we may need. Keep in mind when I say that this is for net news, it is. But if for some reason you're a longstanding customer and you haven't met my acquaintance, if you haven't had that Clouds and Trellis demo, let us know and we'll get you set up. We don't want you to miss out on any helpful material just because maybe you've been with us a little bit longer than we've been doing this customer success process with Microsoft. This is what the Clouds and Trials portal demonstration looks like. A couple screen grabs from there. So you'll see the main landing page on the top left there. And then just a screen grab from our process and showing this portal demonstration. Quite literally what we do is we get all the folks who need to know how to use the Clouds and Trials portal on the call at the same time. We'll make sure that they have the right login credentials and passwords so that they have access. But then what I do is I go through the tabs that you folks as clients use most. There's a whole bunch of tabs on here. We won't touch on every single one of them because some things we do outside of the portal, but there are a handful of things that you will spend 75 to 90% of your time on if you're utilizing this portal. And mainly what we will demonstrate is licensing, how to assign and unassign licenses, as well as order new licenses or new subscriptions, new products through the system. But then we'll also go into some of the reporting and logging, as well as some of the billing options and views that are available in the portal. The next part of this process I refer to as implementation. This is the first 2 to 3 months after your anniversary date or after signing the dotted line. So what you'll see in this time frame is health checks or a post onboarding check-in. Sometimes they're the same call or same email. What we do for the health checks, it's very one-sided in this instance. We will utilize our internal reporting softwares, whether that be the Cloud Centralis portal, whether that be Azure Advisor, whether that be Microsoft Lighthouse, and we'll look at your numbers and your important information internally and provide our feedback on what we see. So what does that mean? It means that I will go in to look at your Microsoft licensing and see what percentage utilized, what percentage usage you're getting. If I'm seeing things that are below 80% and specifically below 60%, I'll call those out and those health checks to you so that you can see maybe areas where we're not using all the licenses that we've purchased, and we can establish a plan to either right size that, to clear any roadblocks, or to understand the process as to why those things aren't being utilized. Another thing we do as part of health checks, and we will do this anytime I engage with you guys as clients, is I will check for important paperwork and I will check for users. And what does that mean? That means important paperwork. Did you sign your GDAP? Some folks don't do that, but most do. We always check to make sure that's up to date so that there's not any hiccups on the back end. We also check the Microsoft customer agreement to make sure that's signed. When I refer to users, I'm speaking specifically to the Cloud Centralis users, but also your support admins. I will make sure that the right folks have access to the Cloud Centralis portal, but referring to support admins, we make sure that the right folks who need to be able to open a support ticket through Logicalis have the ability to do so. And we will do that at every step of our engagements and customer experience, but particular on these health checks. The one thing I will say about health checks is they're one-sided, right? It is us going in to our internal reporting and saying what we see and what we recommend. Later on, we will talk about QSRs, and those are the two-way streets where we can combine our thoughts with your understanding and interaction all live and all on the call at the same time. This is what a health check will look like. Don't need to overdo it on talking about this. We did talk about it a little bit on that last slide, but this is what an email will look like when it comes from me. What you'll see here is I'll call out usage, I'll call out your active and consume licenses, but just wanted to give you guys an idea of what this email would look like from me so that if you see it pop up in your inbox, you know what it is. The next part of this is the optimization phase. I say this is months 4 through 9. This is the vast majority of the year between the time you sign the dotted line or your anniversary date and renewal. This is where I say we are the concierge of CSP as the client experience folks. We'll make sure your licenses are configured. We'll collect your feedback and make sure that anything you guys need, we can provide for you or clear any roadblocks out of the way. And this is also where we do our quarterly service reviews. If you want to jump to the next slide, Rebecca. In these quarterly service reviews, we do a handful of things. We do all the things that I just talked about as part of the health check, but the most important part of this is that we also talk about we also utilize your input and utilize your feedback and talk through a number of things. We'll talk about your licensing and usage again. We'll talk about Azure, and we'll go into the same reporting systems and mention a couple of things that we can do to A, save you money, B, make you more secure, and C, make you more reliable We'll provide that feedback with you, and we'll have the experts on the call to talk through it. It's myself, it's your AE, it is Rebecca or Bobby, depending on who you worked with, and it will be somebody from the Azure team who can jump on and provide expert feedback. The last step I call pre-renewal. This is that this normally takes place after our most recent QSR. This is where we just get together, combine all those thoughts that we've discussed during our health checks, during our QSRs, and make sure that we're ready to go for our renewal. Do we need to right size anything? Do we need to add any products or subtract any products? We want to make sure 90, 100 days out that we're starting that process so that a renewal doesn't sneak up on us and that we're not rushing around. That's the last step of our CS process before we hand things back off to Rebecca and Bobby to handle the renewal process. And then the infinity loop / racetrack will come back around to customer success. The last thing I'll talk about is what I need from you guys as the clients. It really all wraps up into one thing. There's 3 different words to say it, but it really all wraps up into one thing. Enable us to help you, empower us to help you. You guys will see emails with scheduling polls for me trying to set up these introductions, trying to set up these QSRs. All I'm asking is that you allow us to do so. Hop on the call with us for half an hour or an hour so that we can answer any questions you guys have and provide that thought leadership that we're famous for. The other thing I'll tell you is connect. If you have a question, never hesitate to reach out. If you would like to set up a QSR immediately, let us know. We're happy to jump to the top of the list. We work through things in an organic timeline kind of pattern. If you haven't had one in a little bit and you want to get jumped to the top of the list, let your AE know, let us know, and we'll get you set and get a QSR on the calendar. Hey, Rebecca, you're muted.
That's the second time I did that. So we've talked about a lot of stuff. We want to go over our CSP support. There is a link down here. On that link, it shows you what modern work support is provided, including timelines, SLAs, Azure, same thing, what's covered under Azure support. Is it a comprehensive list? It's pretty detailed, but there's so many nuances. There's no way to list everything that is covered. It's technical break fix. So if you can't figure out how to set up your exchange, that wouldn't be considered a technical break fix. But if you go in to check your email and you're not getting any email, that's a break fix. That's when you want to contact us and say, hey, I'm not getting email, what's going on? If we can't fix it ourselves, we have a Premier Support Agreement. We would put in a ticket on your behalf, and you would get all of our SLAs, which are also listed within this link. Our emails are really simple for support. It's just csp@US Logicalis and a phone number. Obviously, you can't call in for support until you're a client, but we want to make sure you know that our support is something that we consider very important as part of our CSP product. How do you contact us? So Bobby and I handle the 365 and Azure licensing, and Scott handles our customer experience. We have one email alias for all 3 of us. Actually has a couple of more people on it too. Just cloudcentralis@us.logicalis.com. If you have an AE with us already and you're already working with us, feel free to include them on the email. But we will be happy to respond to your emails and help you out in any way necessary. We're happy to answer licensing questions, even if you aren't currently a client. We know how important it is to understand what it is you're purchasing and make sure it is what you need. And that's it. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. We appreciate the time that you took to listen to this. And if you have any questions or need anything, again, please feel free to reach out to us.